Today, I want to talk about USC Online. Now, I am about to become a triple Trojan. So let me just be clear. I love USC. I did my undergraduate there, and now I'm completing a master's from the USC Online program, which is part of their executive master's series. So technically, it was a night school. And I'm actually now continuing into a program that I believe is mostly full-time. I know I have 2 hours a day of class, kind of right in the middle of the day, 4 days a week. So I'm expecting it to be pretty intense. It's one of the reasons I've stepped out to being a content creator, and I'm looking for content creation to be my job around my next year or possibly more of continuing graduate studies. Now, I've signed on for a certificate program, which is a year, but I could apply and have that extended to a second master's. And in this case, it would be a master's of science. But one of the things I learned about USC Online, which is really the takeaway that I want you to have today, is that if you're looking at other online programs, here is one surprising fact about USC Online that I learned. And I learned this because I love everything about USC. But, and a big but, is when I applied for the second program, the one I've now been accepted in and will be starting in just a few short weeks, they were a little slow at getting back to me, and I wanted to be respectful of the fact they could make any decision they wanted, and perhaps I would not be accepted, and I needed to know all of my options. So I started looking at other online programs, and I did a pretty deep dive at all the programs in the fields that I'm interested in, and I kept asking the same question to all of the other schools, and every one of them, which had sort of what I had as a presupposed fact that USC offers, school by school by school, I learned that the other ones don't offer it. So if you are considering different programs, I just want to give my full endorsement of USC Online. The program I'm in is spectacular. The whole online program I've found to be exceptional. They offer dozens of master's degrees. I'm particularly speaking at a graduate level. There's certificates, there's master's programs, there's executive education, there's regular, more traditional full-time education. There's a lot there, and I highly recommend you go check it out. Links will be below in the description. So USC is not alone in online education. Online education has taken off, and it seemed for me a perfect fit in the pandemic. I was going through a lot of transitions, actually moved across the country, and I still kind of split my time between the East Coast and Colorado and California. So online education was such a perfect fit for me. Not only did I want it, was I ready for a career change and just sort of some upskilling. I'd had 20 years doing what I was doing, and I was just ready for a reset and a refresh. And I am not disappointed with the amount of knowledge and resources and relationships that I now have in the 4 semesters that I'm now completing. I started in May of 2021. It's now August 2022 as I record this. And so they really gave me an opportunity to sort of do an intensive program. Now, this is what I did was night school. So they expected that you could still have full-time employment, family life, and learn at a pretty accelerated pace. And it was joyful. I loved everything about the program. And again, they're not alone in the online educational space. Lots of other universities have programs. They all come at different price points. They all have, a different curriculum. But the one thing I want to share with you that was surprising to me is that USC Online offers health insurance. Now, I work independently, and so this was a massive gift. Now, downside, they require it. Whether you are on campus or you have off of campus, they require that you have proof of health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, you can buy in at a pretty low, relatively low price to what's offered on the independent market, and certainly through any COBRA program. And it is an absolute gold standard premium insurance, and it covers health. I was in the hospital twice, and I got just such a nominal bill because my health insurance through the university covered it. It gives me eye care, which is great because I wear contacts. And so not only do I get my annual visit, but a discount on my orders of contacts annually. So I'm really excited about that. And I just took that for granted because when I applied for the program I'm just finishing, it was the only program I wanted to do. It was the only program I could find in the entire country that offered the executive master's in urban planning. But now that I want to continue on with data science and kind of a mix, I was looking at different programs, whether it was GIS, Geographic Information Sciences, or Natural Resource Management. I found myself looking at a number of schools, and every one that I looked at, I asked the question, do you offer health insurance? And they said, oh, no, you're not on campus, so we don't offer that to our online students. So if you're like me and you work independently, or if you're looking at leaning into school and having that potentially be the majority of the thing you do and you're only working part-time and your employer is not going to offer you health insurance, the program that is offered at USC comes with a absolutely premium plan that I cannot endorse highly enough. And I was a little bit surprised to see that the other universities who offer these programs, even though if you were a full-time on-campus student, you would have access to the student insurance, they do not offer that with their online education. So be aware of that, because the price of paying for health insurance, the cost if you have a medical incident, of which in the last year I've had 2 and I'm on medication that I need to keep me out of the hospital, has been really, like, if you just math the math on that point alone, USC pays for itself. Now, is it an expensive school? Yes. Are all your expenses pretty much covered if you're willing to take out the loans to do it? Absolutely. They make it really easy. Do I feel like I will earn the money back that I have invested in this program? No doubt. I am very confident in the investment that I've made in the school and in myself. I am super, super pleased with the education that I have gotten from USC. Now, the program that I'm completing, that I just give the highest endorsement to, if this is a field that you're interested in, is through the USC Price School, the Sol Price School of Public Policy. My degree is called EMUP, Executive Masters in Urban Planning. There's obviously the on-campus version, but I am in the USC Online program, and it is just a really, really wonderful program. And now I'm very inspired to do planning for citizens. I really want, through my channel, people to know the everyday things about how planning impacts our lives and just all sorts of aspects of the built environment, the natural environment, people in society, economics, and how that's all tied together by politics, public policy, and public administration. So I have a lot to say about that as I continue to build this channel and this content. But right in here, I really wanted to sort of speak to my love for USC, and specifically love for the USC Online program and for USC Price. Now, the program that I'm starting this fall is at USC Dornsife in the Spatial Sciences Institute, where I will be studying data science and geographic information sciences and systems and technology, which is kind of a subset of data science. So I'm super excited about that. But that program, again, is a bit more like day school, still online. We do have a 1-week field trip, which I'll be doing at the end of September for a particular class that I'm taking on Catalina at their environmental sciences campus. So I'm really excited about that. And also to say that the USC Price one that I've completed also has a hybrid where they do have twice a year or twice throughout the entire program, like on-campus intensive. So you get to go to campus, you get to meet your cohort in person, and just really kind of, put some faces and relationships and feel that sort of university experience. And in that sense, if you're never too old, I was 46 when I started the program. I'm 47, I'll be 48 this year. And so it just was like a perfect reset for me, where I'm feeling I'm a creative, so I'm sort of feel like I'm mid-career. And this has just given me so much information that I'm so excited to apply and share. And then I'm just, like I said, raring to keep going, because it just unlocked all of this sort of potential and possibility that I see that you until you see it, you don't see it. So for me, it's been really exciting to be on this educational journey at this part of my life. And I will say, when we did our on-campus intensive, we didn't do the first one because of COVID. We did the second one. We would take breaks and go to Starbucks to which I would walk past my freshman year dorm, to which I was like, oh, I moved in there 30 years ago. So school is school, whether you started at 18 or whether you started in your 40s, 50s, or 80s. It's just, I think it's so important to always keep growing and learning and challenging ourselves, and to know that there are great programs out there. I just I'm a USC person. Like I said, I did my undergraduate there. I'm a proud alumni. And now, having not only completed, or like 2 weeks from completing my master's, and then stepping into a certificate program, which could very well turn into a second master's. I just absolutely love USC, love everything about it. And when we talk about these other programs, I want to be specific. I'm talking about, I looked at Colorado State University, CU Boulder, Cornell, Georgetown, Harvard, Temple, and not a single one offers health insurance, with being a student. So just something to consider if it's something that you need. And obviously we are going to gravitate to the places that have programs that are going to serve our needs. But I will say, head to head with other programs that I looked into, that was a big takeaway for me, is that not all programs are created equal. And certainly I couldn't find another one in the country that offered any health insurance, let alone an absolutely premium plan at an incredibly reasonable price. So with that, highly endorse USC Online. Check it out. Check out their courses. Give me some feedback. And if you have any questions about being a grad student, especially, starting in your 40s, I have lots of love and support for the process. And I just highly recommend it. If you have any other questions about USC that I can answer, let me know. And I will just be here continuing to create content and shouting out about the things that have impacted my life, have added value, things I care about, and things that hopefully can help you as well.